You might have caught me there, jamming a little bit. Welcome to Paneloids, guys. Tonight on Paneloids, comic books, and more, we're joined by writer Kenny Porter and artist Mike Becker to talk about their new Mad Cave series, The New Space Age. Final order cutoff is November 17th, with the book hitting shops December 17th. Kenny, Mike, what's going on?
How's it going, guys?
Hey,
Thanks for having us.
Hi.
Thank you for joining
we
us.
missed you so much, Kenny and Mike. We've been waiting for this moment to finally lock eyes.
Yeah, nice to meet
It is a great night.
This is a good night. And it's a late night. We normally do this at 7. We stayed up extra late just to be with you guys. So it's a late show.
Paneloids Nights.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what it is.
That's a different subscription.
That's definitely a different level in the Discord. Well, Kenny, Mike, for the clips, could you please tell us both about your career in comics?
Sure. I'll go first. I'm Kenny Porter, comic book writer. I've been writing comics for like 10 years now. I've written for a bunch of different companies. I've done original graphic novels with companies like Scholastic and Simon & Schuster. I've written for DC, Image, Archie, like a bunch of fun stuff. I've worked on characters like Superboy, Superman, The Flash. I've done some fun Justice League related stuff, like an Elseworlds book called DC Mech. And I've been doing some more creator-owned stuff recently, like The Schlub, which I did for Image, and now The New Space Age for Mad Cave.
Yeah, I'm Mike. This is my first published comic. I've been working as an artist for about 7 years now, kind of just freelance illustration stuff. I've worked in animation a couple times. I did a loading screen for Fortnite. That was pretty cool. And I did a self-published series over COVID called Young Offenders. It was 3-issue self-published work. And like I said, this is my first published comic. So very excited.
We're excited for you guys. This collab has been awesome from our little sneak peek that we got. And Mike, we're gonna have to talk about this Fortnite page that you did.
Pierre loves Fortnite.
I'm a big Fortnite player, so we might have to talk about this at some point. Sure. Yeah, I mean, if you want to just tell us which one you did, I probably know.
It was for KB Lame, who's like a TikTok guy who goes like this. It was during the Super Spy arc. So I did some sprays of those Super Spy characters. There was like a buff fish and a lady with a gold mask.
Yep, I have both those skins. Yep.
Nice.
Yep, buff fish, one of my favorite. Guys, drop it in the chat what season that's from. Yeah, if you know. If you know, know.
It's probably been in the show because you've had your TV on so many times with Fortnite just in the
lingering in the background.
You've probably been on the show already.
It's
cool.
very true. Yeah, there's a cameo appearance somewhere deep in our archives. I can't even see an archive. Right there, you go.
You got it.
Clip it.
Can you guys give us a synopsis for the New Space Age?
Sure, yeah. So The New Space Age is a science fiction series. It's about a disgraced astronaut named Mark Mitchell who is out looking for his little brother Joey, who was abducted by aliens when they were kids. And after he gets kicked out of the space program, he discovers that crop circles are actually instructions for space travel, and that actual space travel doesn't happen through science, which is why UFOs move so crazily and against the laws of physics. It actually happens with magic. So together with a magician friend of his that studied the occult and an engineer, they decide to build a spaceship that runs on magic instead of traditional science. So it's a big, hopeful science fiction story about them trying to build their own ship and go out into space to find his brother.
Fantastic.
I freaking love that.
Such a good idea.
So I was explaining it to my fiance because she's always like wondering what I'm reading. So she's asking me, and I was like, "Yeah, these guys going to space. Guy gets abducted, and she's like, "Oh, it's like aliens." I was like, "I don't know yet because there's magic involved, so I have no idea what's actually happening." So it really threw me for a loop once that was, because that's, you see abduction, you're like, okay, yeah, it's exactly that, just an alien spaceship taking them away, but boom, magic in there, totally different story, and I love it. So I do got to ask, how many issues are planned for the series? And without spoiling, will there be a hard ending or room for more in the future? So it's a two-part.
Oh yeah. So it's 5 issues right now. The story does have an end, but it's an open ending where we could keep going. So the story has an end that if we never did any more, it'd be fine, but it is purposefully also open for many reasons for us to keep going in the future.
Okay.
The magic can stay alive, so to speak.
Oh, there we go. I like it. Yeah, no, I can see a lot of potential here. So I'm excited. I'm very excited on where this is going to take us, where it's going to take readers, honestly. So
We have a comment from TikTok. Mike's awesome. We met at a con in Savannah once from AJ. And
Okay.
Pierre, you can read this one.
Oh, love your work on Batman with No Name from Batman Urban Legends. It was really sick. A sick read from Hamato House.
Oh yeah, that was the one with Batman 1,000,000 where I gave him like a Common Rider style belt and he could turn into every version of Batman that he needed depending on the situation. And for people who are JoJo fans, I actually gave him a stand too in that story. So for deep manga level, like there's a lot of nerd level stuff in there, but that was a really fun story to do because no one had really fleshed out Batman 1,000,000 in a long time. And he doesn't have a name and stuff, or has never canonically shown his face. So we got to like kind of show his face in silhouette. That was Baldemar Rivas and I, the guy I did DC Mech with.
You know, I forgot that about you, Kenny. And I think for everyone that's like new to your writing and like what you get influence from, like you're deep into anime. Like we did a whole Gundam show where like
But the
you were
amount
like
that you
guessing.
read, didn't one of the apps like stop you? Like it's like you can't read anymore.
Shonen
It's not
Jump
healthy.
used to have a cap and it stopped me once, which I had never heard anyone else get. It was like, you have hit the limit for today. And I was like, there's a limit? Like it was like 100 chapters or something. It was like, you can't read anymore today. That's what I was like rereading Dragon Ball all the way through. And I was like, but I'm in the Cell Saga. Like, let me go. Like, don't stop.
I'm in the Cell Saga. You send like a message out to them. Yeah, no, but honestly, it's just like I feel like that influence hits a lot of your books, which is really awesome. So, yeah.
And influence-wise, I'd just say like, Mike brought a lot of that awesome sort of animation feel that he's talked about to this because he has a very. I'll let you speak more to it, Mike. I don't need to tell these people how you draw. You can do that yourself.
I love it, please.
But yeah, he has a very like deep animation type style, which I felt was good for this because it's a really kind of emotional, like hopeful book. And it has a lot of those vibes of kind of like a Bruce Timm kind of animated thing, as well as a lot of like Franco-Belgian stuff. Like I've been saying, like I liked it because a lot of it reminded me of like Mobius and stuff, which we get into a lot more in the space stuff, which will be happening. I think you guys read the first 2 issues, which starts to touch on that. And like once it goes out into space, like Mike goes full ham, like with the craziness in terms of like design and everything. So there's a lot that you guys are going to be excited about. But Mike, if you want to talk a little bit about that, about your influences and stuff for this book.
Yeah, influence-wise, I mean, Mobius, I think subject matter alone, I pulled a lot from a lot of Mobius's work. Stylistically, I feel like I have kind of like tent poles, I usually call it, for like my recipe of my style. There's kind of like the animation influences, like Bruce Timm, anyone kind of cartoony. Bruce Timm, Chris Samnee, and Jack Kirby. And then kind of on the other end of the spectrum, like a little bit more rendered. I hesitate to say realistic, but like Frank Quitely is a huge influence on me, especially a texture and body language. Marcos Martin, body language wise as well. I guess I could just list artists that I love. But those are definitely some of the big influences that kind of make up the majority of my style.
Yeah, I think it fits perfectly for this project, honestly.
Thank you.
So how did you two kind of end up together on this? Did Kenny just DM you and be like, I need you. You're perfect for this? Because really, I mean, you like you said, you let us read both issues early, and it really is a perfect match. Like your style fits this story so well. And it's especially in issue 2 where you could see you kind of got to be a little more creative with, like, I don't want to spoil anything, but really, like, it works. Like, it works really well. So how did you two meet, for lack of better words?
Oh, yeah, I'll take this one. So I was contacted by James, our editor from Mad Cave, who's been great to work with. And that's when I entered the equation. I guess James had reached out to Kenny asking for ideas, and this was one that had been on Kenny's slate for a while. And James had reached out to me just via email and asked if I had availability, which I did at the time. I think I had just wrapped up that Fortnite project, but I could be mixing my summers together. And I think the only thing I really remember from the initial question was the occult and UFOs, which was right up my alley. I love like psychedelic stuff, weird fantasy, sci-fi stuff. So I was very excited about that. So I was in right away. And I think almost immediately we ended up on a phone call together just to connect, talk ideas, get a sense of what the project was and kind of meet. And I think about that conversation a lot because I think it gave me a lot to like work with, really understand the story before I had really even read the script, because I was when I was entering the concept stage. And I referred to that a lot for kind of the emotional arc of the story and some of just the artistic goal of the project, which is something I really care a lot about as like a work of art or a body of work. And one thing I may be paraphrasing, but Kenny saying something about this being like an unfilmable comic, because we play using some of the magic system that we create. It kind of plays with the language of comics in a super unique way, very intentionally. And so I think about that a lot in how I've approached pretty much every page design or, action in the story.
Yeah. And I don't want to oversell it, but there's a part in the 5th issue that we both had to thumbnail over and over because it plays with the format of the page so much that even I was thumbnailing back and forth to try to describe. So a lot of that Frank quietly kind of like we three kind of energy. So it's just Mike outdid himself in some of the parts is what I'm gonna say coming up. So not to oversell it again, like I said, but it's friggin' awesome.
Yeah, well, now I'm excited to get to that because again, we got issue 1, we got issue 2, and it definitely gets better like as it goes on. So it's just like,
and it continues to.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with that. I think hopefully because I've drawn it all chronologically, so you can kind of really watch me evolve throughout the project. Hopefully.
Yeah, no, I see it. So Kenny, what inspired this story and what ideas were you exploring when writing it?
Yeah, so at the heart of the story, a lot of it has to do with like survivor's guilt and finding hope with that, of like having let a family member down. It deals with like themes of like familial abuse and like trying to be someone's protector and what that feels like when you fail at it or you drift apart, sort of thing. So I really wanted to explore that. And then from the science fiction side, it was really just me watching, like at the time, so much of that like UFO footage was coming out, of like stuff from the Air Force and everything. And then Unsolved Mysteries actually did, I forgot about this until just right now, but the newest season of Unsolved Mysteries has an episode that features that giant UFO event that was at my hometown when I was a kid, like around like Grand Haven and Holland, Michigan and stuff, where like thousands of people saw these lights and called in, like, and the police were recording it and stuff, and it's all documented. So it's always kind of fascinated me. And I started to think while watching all the footage, like, well, how would they move? Like, how is it possible they would move against the laws and physics and stuff? Like, if we assume it's a ship or a vessel. And I was like, you would have to break the laws of physics. Like, it would have to be magic. And then I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, and then I started to think about like magic and runes and stuff. And I was like, what if crop circles are like instructions for space travel? And that's why they're odd shapes and stuff. It's literally like, this is up, this is down, this is left. If it's an invitation to try to join the Stars. So I was like, I want to take this and try to tell a story about Survivor's Guild, but also hope, like a hopeful science fiction story, because I love apocalyptic stuff and dystopian stuff, but there's been a lot of it, and the world has not been a super chill place to live in lately. So I was trying to make something that was hopeful and trying to capture that idea of like exploration and stuff again. And a big influence too were those like 80s kid sci-fi movies like The Explorers or Flight of the Navigator, of like kids making their own ship in a backyard sort of thing, and trying to recapture that like love for space travel and science. So that's really where kind of the germ of the idea came from, and then blossomed out to all those like little tiny tangents.
Yeah. No. Okay. All right. Mike, you got anything on that?
Excuse me. We were talking about the influences on it, or the magic system from the crop circles.
Yeah.
I mean, I connected a lot to like sigils and the idea of condensing ideas into image, which I think plays kind of perfectly into comics as like a visual language, since I'm kind of taking Kenny's thoughts and translating them into pictures. So I think some of that, even the magic that the characters kind of discover, is kind of how the book came about at all, and just kind of exists as a project. So hopefully we're kind of channeling some sort of magic alien message of peace. To Kenny's point about, the dystopian, utopian future, I think the story is kind of set in a not so distant present, or a future just a couple steps away. And since we are kind of living in a dystopia at the moment, I think it is kind of nice to have a story that tries to imagine a future after this. And it's not like we're writing a utopian play-by-play or anything, but I think just that spirit of hope that you get from those kind of retro sci-fi movies in a landscape of dystopia is definitely something we were trying to accomplish with this project, and hopefully achieve.
Yeah, no, definitely. I see it. I see what's going on.
How's it been working with the colorist, Kevin Beta? And how has his work shaped the book's feel and tone?
Kevin B2, one of my good buddies. He lives here in Savannah. He works at the comic book store, Neighborhood Comics here. So that's how I met him and got to know some of his work. And if you haven't seen any of his original stuff, like his line art, not only his colors, but his line art is really incredible. He does these really cool designs and redesigns, a lot of fashion influence, which makes the stuff really unique. So on the project, I tried to kind of insisted on him being involved in the project. James asked our editor, asked if I had any colorists in mind. I put Kevin's name out there, or I asked Kevin if he was available and put his name out there. So it was really cool to get him involved in the project and get to work together as we're kind of living in the same town. He has a lot of freedom. I think he's kind of made his own kind of personal stamp on the book, and you can see a lot of that in the art. And it's kind of nice to have that friend relationship with him. And I think he's done a lot to, like I said, kind of put his own stamp on the project.
No, it pops. Like it pops. Like I actually went through both again just to like absorb the art a little better, and they really colorists are not shouted out or given enough credit, but it really he makes it for sure. Like he really the final touch. And actually, that sets up the next question, Pierre. Let's see how you do.
Yeah, so Buddy Bedouin, is that how you say his name? Did I say it wrong? Buddy Bedouin? No one's going to correct me here? All right.
I'll be honest, I've only talked to him via email. I've never said his name before. So
Buddy,
if we're wrong, Buddy can message us and tell us.
Shout out, Buddy, the letterer on this project. So was it his idea to add the little character head bus on the text boxes?
Yeah, he did. He just did that in the first pass, and I thought that was friggin' awesome.
That was so unique. I don't feel like I see that, and I don't know if I've seen it in any books. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that when I passed through, and was like, oh, that's so super unique, and definitely came right from him, as far as I know.
Yeah, I've seen before, like in the in like the 2000s run of Justice League, they put like the symbol and like color the captions for the different characters, but I've never seen somebody like literally snip the characters and put the talking heads next to it, for so that you know who's talking off panel or in flashback and everything, which I think is awesome.
It almost felt like an Archie comic book, almost. Like, I don't know, it was like,
yeah,
right, like I didn't really know how to describe that specifically, like where
I was thinking like an
like
old computer game where like you start the mission and like the commander's still telling you what to do as you start to walk into the battlefield.
That's even better. Yeah, 100%. But it works really well. Like, I don't know why, like I've gravitated to those little heads. And I was like, this keeps it so like organized for me. Because like sometimes you read a book and you're like, who's talking right now? Like, so
yeah, I think it's incredible. Buddy like really went to the next level for that. No one asked him to do that. That was his idea, and he put that spin on it. And people have been really receptive towards it. And I hope when the book comes out and a bunch of people read it, that they give both him and Kevin the kudos that they deserve for like doing such cool stuff with the book.
Yeah, I think the four of you, it's like the perfect mix, especially for the story. Like, it's really like you put the right team together here. I mean, this publisher, they've been on such a roll lately. I mean, it's there's been a lot. So it's good, guys. Like, I'm kind of feel bad that we read it so early and everyone has to wait. And then it sucks for us, actually, because then we have to wait for 3 so much longer. Although I have both of your emails, so
yeah. So maybe we hook you up with some of the other issues.
We'll see how the next 30 minutes go.
Don't hesitate.
But you guys. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dimitri.
No.
Oh yeah, we won't forget. Yeah, we won't forget. Yeah, I'll make sure that you guys have them, especially as the new issues come out. So if you want to shout out as the new issues are dropping. Happy to do that for 3 fine gentlemen who liked our book so much.
Yeah, and had us on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You touched on this already a little bit, but can you kind of hint at the journey that Mark Mitchell is going to face, both mentally, physically, morally?
Yeah. That's a great question. So like I said, a lot of it has to do with the survivor's guilt sort of thing about his brother, about how he felt like he was his protector when they were little. The event happens. He can't do anything about it. Nobody really believes him about what happened to his brother. They just think he ran away. And so a lot of that drive is going to both really help him to like chart this new course of space adventure, and it's also going to be a bit of a problem of how driven he is to get his brother back. It's his greatest drive, and it is also going to become his greatest flaw in some places, without ruining too much stuff, of how driven he is to try to find Joey and bring him back. So we're going to explore that a lot, as well as the morality of which will be brought up in the issues. I'm trying to dance around this so I don't completely give it away, but also the morality of what happens with new technology, in terms of access, who gets to use it, what happens. It's going to get into a lot of that stuff and kind of blossom out from there with the characters. So I'm really excited for people to see where it goes, especially because I think in a lot of places where you would expect what's going to happen, it's not going to happen. There's going to be some zigs and zags to things that would happen usually in a story like this. So yeah, I think you're going to see an emotional journey that's going to feel very real for anyone who's ever become like disconnected from a family member, but also still have like those big, it's going to be seen through the lens of like big epic space wonder.
Okay, excellent.
Just thinking about
a lot of high highs and a lot of low lows.
I was gonna say we love zigs, but especially zags.
Well, the zags, yeah.
Big zag guy.
Zags are where it's at.
I'm thinking about how the second one ends, and I'm just like, thinking. I'm thinking a lot, and I'm excited to see what happens.
So mysterious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to give anything away, but
The big tease from Pierre: something happens in issue 2.
It ends with something happening that you're
It
gonna
ends with
want to
something
check
happening.
out. You're gonna want to check out. So Mike, can you tell us about your approach to the character designs?
To the characters. So I think the first thing I got from Kenny was kind of just a paragraph about the main, like 3 or 4 characters. The Mark Mitchell, our disgraced astronaut, Stacy King, our escape artist who dabbled in the occult, and Bobby West, who is the ambitious engineer. And he gave me a paragraph kind of about their personalities, nothing that I really remember about visuals. I do typically cast my characters like with actors, not to like rely on a likeness. I kind of abandon it really quickly, but I just need sometimes just a touchstone. So I picked a couple actors just to give me like a base. With Mark, the main character, one of the first features I really thought about was very sad eyes, just because he's kind of a haunted guy. He's an astronaut, so he's pretty accomplished even when we meet him at the beginning, but he has this obviously very sad backstory. And it made him very large. It kind of made big. He's very tall and wide, and then Stacy is kind of very petite, and she's theatrical. She's an escape artist. She performs in Vegas, so she's kind of very stylish. So I put a lot of effort into the fashion. Kind of in the main 3 characters, Stacy's definitely the fashionable one. But I actually have loved some of the background characters almost the most as part of this process, because it gives me an opportunity to design these NPCs of this not so distant future world. And kind of some of the fashion I was inspired by some retro sci-fi. I think it's nostalgia cycles are really fascinating to me. So I thought maybe in the 2050s, they'd kind of cycle back around to some 50s style architecture, design, and fashion. So I looked at a lot of like Googie or mid-century modern style for both fashion and architecture. And it doesn't pop up in the book a ton, but hopefully it gives us some sort of texture to kind of inspire some of the designs. And everybody in the future always has a cool jacket. So all the characters have cool jackets because it's the future.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's in space. I'll say that. Like, I can't wait to see like your designs for, species or multiple species or all of it.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty mysterious because that's kind of a big deal in the exact middle of the story. But I had a lot of fun with that part. That was definitely my favorite part to draw and design. Definitely some of my most insane feeling in this process, in a good way.
Because there's some designs already where I thought were really cool, of a more mechanical side of things. So
there's been a lot of vehicles in this project.
Yeah.
I have learned how to draw cars a lot more confidently throughout this project, both cars and spaceships. I think I've designed several spaceships for this project. Spoilers. Actually very many spaceships.
Okay.
So I kind of tested it and pushed my expertise a little bit.
So now the book's already drawn out, everything's done, right? Or is there still more that you're adding?
I'm almost done with the inks for the last issue. Spoilers.
Because you could add Toe, Jam, and Earl in this anywhere. Now, do we know who Toe, Jam, and Earl is? Is that just like a me? Do I know that?
Do you have the rights to Toe Jam and Earl for us to put from Sega for us to put them in the book? Because
we can call a guy.
Okay, if you got a guy to call, I will ask if we can have 2 extra pages to just have Toe Jam and Earl.
I feel like they belong in this. They belong in somewhere.
Aesthetically,
in the
they feel like they can hang. Yeah. If they want to do a crossover, I'm all for doing a crossover of Toe Jam and Earl and the new Space Age.
Just saying, guys, we could make that happen. Sega. No, I don't know how much we actually have.
You have to request a commission from Mike.
Yeah, there we go. I think that's the way to do it. We got loopholes around it. So let me ask. I guess it's an either or. So either one of you, right? So do either of you use playlists when writing or drawing your books?
Let's both answer that because I'm sure there's probably an interesting answer. Mike, you go first, and then I'll go.
Yeah, I very much do. I love this question because I am a crazy person, and I make a new playlist every month for just kind of my regular life. That's very curated towards what I'm working on. I do have a new Space Age playlist specifically. I went to it a lot more at the beginning, especially issues 1 and 2. I think I was listening to that a lot or building it. And I just kind of phased it out of that habit to kind of keep going with my month by month playlists. But a lot of that does play into how I approach the story, I guess. I'm just so inspired by music and kind of really curate those playlists for the vibes. So I have some, not like an official soundtrack for Space Age, but definitely a lot of songs that I would put on a soundtrack.
I didn't make a dedicated playlist, but I did listen to a lot of the Blade Runner soundtrack, the original one, especially in the middle of the book when we do a lot of space stuff. And then I listened to a lot of let's see, I try to nail it down. I did make like a rotation. I usually did, like, which weird enough was like 9 Inch Nails was one of the things I listened to a lot. Which was Hurt. Like, I just, like, that felt like a good one, especially because when I was writing, there's a really emotional issue later on. But a lot of synthy stuff like the Midnight and stuff like that I listened to a lot of. So there's a lot of spacey sounding stuff I was trying to do to get myself in the vibe, as well as a little bit of the more industrial type stuff like 9 Inch Nails, like I said, like some Trent Reznor stuff.
Yeah, well, a lot of the music, I definitely have a lot of soundtrack stuff. 2001 Space Odyssey, definitely on the playlist somewhere. Lost in Space is a song by Foster the People. They had like a whole album that was almost space themed. It was kind of perfect. Glass Animals did too. So that was who's my favorite of all time. So that was on there. Moon Panda, really psychedelic stuff that went into a lot of the kind of the space scenes as well. And some of the latest issue, one of their albums in particular. Just shout out some of my favorite artists.
Okay. Oh, we got Juan Reads Comics from TikTok. Link to a Spotify playlist.
I could put that out there. That'd be fun.
You want to put that link out there?
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
Yeah,
I'll put in the bio of the YouTube. Send it to me. That's that's cool.
Yeah,
so kind of following up with that. So more on the lines of a soundtrack. Say this, not if, but when, right? When there is something, what would the soundtrack be in your eyes, or at least a portion of it?
I think like I said, probably the most hopeful stuff I listen to. Like, if I had to pick a band to do it, from my perspective, I would pick the Midnight, who are like a really good synth sounding band to do it. If they were to do like how Goblin used to do all those horror movies for like Dario Argento and stuff, I'd be like, just sick the Midnight on it and have them do it. Or like how Queen did all the songs in the original Highlander, and just be like, just go, like, you guys just like use songs you have or make new ones. So I think that's probably the first band I would pick.
Yeah, kind of like Queen did for Flash Gordon, right? Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Moon Panda, I think, would be great for it, or Glass Animals, who would be huge, but those would be my votes too.
Okay. I get the vibe. I feel it.
You should put together like a playlist, so like as readers go, like, this is issue 1, this is issue 2, issue 3.
Yeah.
A lot of playlist requests we're getting now. So now you need
the album cover would be the floating green cow. That would be the
I love the floating. I'm so happy you brought up Cynthia. Can I just say?
Yeah.
Cynthia the cow.
That may be Pierre's next tattoo. Can I just say that may
Oh, okay.
that may be
This
No.
arm has a bunch of random things. I'm okay with it.
we'll get matching.
No,
One
I'll
of my
put it on my-
Dimitri, you
I'll
you
put it
want
on my arm.
Cynthia?
Me too.
I'll put it anywhere. Where do you want me to put it, Kenny? I'll put it anywhere.
Let's say arm just so that you can show me without me getting weirded out by any other
Good
place.
answer.
So if there's room on the arm.
Very good answer.
Very good.
I was gonna say around the belly button, but we'll keep it on the arm.
I was gonna say inner thigh.
Oh, all
Inner
right.
thigh,
That's-
Cal? Come
Nope.
on.
Nope. That I
All
can't
right,
show
fair enough.
Kenny. I can't show Kenny that.
I'm the weird one.
All right. I could see this working not only as an animated show, but also as a video game. I mentioned one of them. What genre would fit best? Arcade side scroller, full action RPG, flight simulator? What are we thinking?
So I actually have an idea for this, mainly based on Buddy's like little text things. I think like a Stardew Valley style type game would be great, where like already set it up on a farm and like you work with the town or whatever and build resources and build your ships, and then it goes first person flight simulator when you go into space or like fly it around and stuff. So it's got like two different kind of modes. So you would do that, go out and get resources and stuff, and then come back and then work on the ship more. Go out to like little points, find some more symbols and stuff and everything. So like a fun kind of farm simulator sort of thing, like in the Stardew Valley kind of realm. I think it would be fun.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
I'll take
Sounds
my
like-
$1 million check now.
Sounds like you figured this all out already. Mike, do you have anything on that one?
I like what Kenny described, where you kind of have to collect things to build a project, because I think that's kind of very much the spirit of what the characters get up to. The flight simulator makes a lot of sense too. So I don't know if I'd have a different answer.
Or we could do Lose Your Job Simulator, where it's just the first 5 pages of the book and you just get fired over and over again.
That's good. So I was thinking just more puzzle. Like that was my initial thought of like.
Oh yeah.
So I guess that's kind of a question too. Like, how deep is the rune kind of crop circle? It's not a language per se. It's almost like how deep is that? Is there like, can you guys communicate in it? I guess that's what I'm asking. Like, is it that deep, or are we just like more vague of, oh, you put that line here and something happens?
I did actually kind of make a little language. It's not in anything official, but in my sketchbook, I have like a little kind of alphabet that I've created that I use throughout.
It's got to go in the trade in the back.
That'd be
at
cool.
least.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen the key. I'm just like, do a symbol that means like they do a loop to loop or whatever. And he's like, got it. I'll figure it out.
And there are some symbols you'll see repeated that are kind of like spells that they do. If you're paying attention, you'll see that them repeat, and they do have a meaning. So that you should be able to kind of translate. I think if you see enough of the code in the comic, you can kind of piece together. I didn't, because it wasn't a huge part of it. It's not the most complex in the world, but there definitely is a little language, and how I create the kind of spells of the sigils. I do have kind of a process for that. So,
Okay, I'm curious to see more. Maybe you send me a little screenshot or something. Because that's interesting to me for sure.
I have tons of sketchbook stuff. I've been keeping a running sketchbook for maybe since 2018 or 19. I'm on number 53. I've filled so many of these. I think when I started Space Age, I was on like maybe 30. So I've got a lot of back matter for future trades and hardcovers.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
All right, let's just shift gears for just a second. Kenny, you let us read something else. You now have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle annual under your belt here. That was very fun. Can you just give a quick synopsis? Tell us a little bit about it. Give us any important dates. But we all thoroughly enjoyed that.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, I got to write Turtles, which is amazing. I did it with Michael Shelfer, who was put together, team was put together by our editor, Dave Wilgus, who's a good friend of mine, who I worked with on a ton of stuff when he was at DC. And they called me to work on Turtles to do this annual that comes out in 2 weeks, or actually next week now. Next week from IDW. It takes place, I believe, right after Jason Aaron's run, like leading into Gene Luen Yang's run. So what Jason Aaron and Juan Ferrero were doing in TMNT, I believe, is completely wrapped up when ours takes place, which is just kind of like an isolated adventure before Gene Luen Yang and Freddie Williams, like their run starts. So the story is basically like after the events, which I think 12 came out today, but I still won't spoil it or anything. But after the events of TMNT number 12 and their current situation, they get a chance to catch up. And we've seen kind of what they did in this year that they were apart, but there's some untold stories from that, and some deeply emotional stuff that happened that hasn't been explored yet. So we get to see each of the turtles kind of tell a story about what happened in that lost year that the other ones didn't know about, which was really fun to kind of put them in different genres and situations. And it was great because I got to write all 4 of the turtles, which is amazing, as well as create some new characters for it, which is dope. So being able to add to something that I watched and loved as a child meant a lot to me. It was incredible.
I really enjoy the new characters.
Oh, thanks, man.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you touched on that because I'm like, all right, I don't follow Turtles that much, but like this makes me want to follow Turtles more, and I want to see I want to see your characters come back. That's the one part. It's like, all right, you introduce them. Do these characters come back at any point, or like where what happens?
Call your local congressman, aka the people at IDW, and tell them like we want Kenny to do a whole mini series about these newbies.
Yeah, I don't want to mention any of them, unless you do.
Yeah,
but like,
no, I think it. Oh no, there's a cover with one of them on it that was released. So there's a Lynx character who's on one of the covers. That's one of the new ones. I won't say his name or what his deal is, but he's the main newbie that I introduced in the book as like a new type of Turtles character that I don't think has been around before. And I don't want to say what his deal is because it's kind of like it's a crucial thing and a spoiler sort of thing, but I don't think that character's been done before in Turtle stuff, so I thought it was a really fun like kind of twist to pull. But I'm glad you enjoyed it so much, and I hope everybody else enjoys it when they pick it up next week, because you're all going to pick it up next week, even if you're seeing it, and if it's in the future, you're going to go back in time and pick it up to juice the numbers back in time and change the timeline.
I'm gonna be swift with this clip. Start with the end so I get this out. Are there any other upcoming projects you'd like to mention? Could hint at? Could give us breaking news? Past projects? Just anything you really would like to promote? Both, please. Anything you'd like to share?
Sure. Do you want me to go first, Mike, or do you want to go first?
I'll go first because right now, kind of all I have is the new Space Age coming out in December. So that's kind of the biggest thing on my plate, and I don't have anything else to announce. So, just that.
Yeah. So I'll go pre-order the new Space Age. So he just keeps doing new Space Age. We just do a bunch of that.
Yeah, I needed something after this.
Yeah. So, but look at him. He's so adorable. Help feed this man.
Like, that is the artist answer. Like,
yeah, I'm very hungry all the time. Will draw for food.
Yeah. So Pierre, you might get a good price on that commission for the Jim and Earl. So
I make a mean peanut butter jelly sandwich. So if you're down,
if you want, I'll give you guys a little preview of some commissions I'm doing. Just saying our stuff.
Let's do that.
Something like that. This is
boom. Of course, you'd show this to Kyle.
Yeah,
right,
this is
right to my heart.
Do you understand who you're showing this to?
I guess not. This is a Batman in the future.
Yeah. I don't think you realize
Oh
who
man,
you're
we're
showing
gonna
it
have to
to
talk
right
for
now.
real.
Kyle is addicted to
Ooh.
that.
Oh, that's dope.
This is a Guts Berserk.
Oh yeah, that's
I'll
awesome.
show off a couple. This is
Yeah,
a
dude.
Star Wars Death Trooper.
Mhm.
Oh, that's dope.
That's
the
awesome.
Vader.
Love the walkers in the back.
Yeah, we got a Lobo.
Oh, love the
There you
hair
go.
on that.
That
Yeah.
is
That's dope.
perfect. Wow.
Cool shapes.
Lion-O from
Oh,
Thundercat.
awesome. Yeah.
Oh, you got a lot of commissions. That's
so
awesome.
clean.
Nice. And this is a Spider-Man 2099. He's like
That is
Spider-Man
cool.
from the future.
That
got
looks
looks
very, very
awesome.
cool.
So I've got a couple more to do for Friday. But if you want something like that, they're not super big, but I'm going crazy on them. So
Your
I mean,
get 'em
style,
up,
really
yeah.
though. It's so
Yeah.
unique. Like it's really. We might just talk about Batman Beyond because your style really fits. So I'll tell a quick story. So there's
Sure.
a 1 per shop variant of Beyond the White Knight. I own 5 because
damn.
I've been chasing a 9.8. Now you could imagine the cost of a 1 per shop book. Tell me how Pierre was like, "Oh, that is cool, Kyle. I would like to get one too." Submits one and gets a 9.8 in the first go, and I've been hitting 9s, 9.6s, 9.4s. But we're trying again. There's another one that was just shipped out. We're trying again. Yep. I offered him so much
there.
money, and he was just like, "No, I'm gonna give it to you eventually."
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Keys.
Just yeah. So yeah, you doing Batman Beyond though. That needs to happen for real.
I agree.
Like for real, like an ongoing. Like they need a new ongoing, and that needs to be you. Okay, all right, I see you.
Hey, let's manifest that. That would be awesome.
Yeah, no, we will. That's the clip, and we'll see. You know, I'll tag DC, but you know,
It's gonna work.
haven't responded
Heck,
yet.
call your
We're working on it.
congressman.
Yeah.
Yes.
call-
Yeah.
Actually, Mike, I don't think this is listed here, but where are you located? Are you East Coast or West Coast?
I'm in Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
East Coast.
Any chance you're coming to Jersey for? What do we have? Super Jersey Con or
Super
something?
Jersey Con. That's a bit of
Yeah.
a trip for Super Jersey.
No plans, but I'm from Philadelphia. So, or the
Oh.
Philly area, Delco, technically.
Okay.
So, Philly, Jersey, New York, a lot more. That's where I'm from. So, I
Okay.
could. When is the show?
In April.
I'll put it on my radar.
It's a newer show, but they're
getting
doing
big.
a fantastic job. Yeah, it's
getting big.
very
Big.
cool venue. Anyway,
They grew quick.
Kenny, I want spoilers for things that are in
Yeah.
the work. Don't
So
you're
there's
not
several
getting out of it.
things. There's several things that we're working on. I can't say. The things I can say, I'm doing. It was announced I'm doing a new book with Tyrell Cannon, who I did the Schlub with. We're doing a horror book at IDW. It was in Entertainment Weekly where they announced it as like part of the new Dark line. It's called Operation Iron Coffin, and it's about the British dropping Dracula like a bomb on the Nazis in World War II. So everybody knows the British didn't drop Dracula on the Nazis. What this book presupposes is maybe they did. So it's a story that is, I love the novel. And while this is a crazy, like Castlevania meets Metal Gear, like take on Dracula, and a mission he's on, it is very influenced by a specific line of the end of the original novel. Where it talks about what happens after Dracula's killed and a look of contentment on his face. So this book is going to pull in a little bit of like a Spawn flavor, and heavy on like World War II pulp sort of stuff. And Tyrell is going to draw, I've seen some of the concept stuff already. He's going to draw some wild gore and horror moments, as well as like big alternate World War II action stuff. So it's going to be a fun horror action book that I'm really excited about. And I think that's all I can say right now are those. More updates coming soon, but I will definitely let you guys know when I can say more about the other stuff.
Okay, maybe you want to say it live. I still have my schlub outfit or cosplay rather.
Oh,
I
you
still,
do?
I still have my dentist lab coat.
That was fantastic. That was some of the best promotion for that we could have gotten. So
Yeah, I almost shaved the beard for it, and I was like, that's one step too far.
Step too far. Yeah.
Too far.
I hand sell a lot of the schlub at conventions. Like people just see it and come up and ask me about what it is. I'm like, it's about a piece of shit dentist who like switches bodies with Thor, and they're like, take my money. They're like, I'll
That's so
take
funny.
2.
The premise alone was so brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Stegman hates dentists, so that's why he was like, I got to do something that makes dentists look bad. I don't like going to the dentist. He has a lot of like horrific dentist stories of like experiences at the dentist, so I don't blame him.
I'm gonna ask him about that. We actually might have him on next month. We'll see if he continues to answer my emails. So I got the first one, so we'll see if we keep going. But yeah, I might ask him about
art
that.
is crazy. I just picked up his latest Kickstarter book. I just got it like the other day. Looks great. Eris.
Eris is fantastic.
Yeah, we did a short review for him on that in a live stream a while ago. But yeah, no, that's another good. That's another art style where it's like no compare. Like I feel like like you listed your inspirations, but there's no like you have a very unique style. He's someone too. I would kind of put in like you can't really compare. Like that's its own.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So guys, give us some important dates. Any signings, and maybe a final pitch for the new Space Age.
Yeah, signings. I think I am going to do one in Grand Rapids. I don't think it's been confirmed yet with the shop, but I'm going to do one in the release date window sometime in December. So come to a Michigan winter and stay into the cold. Try to survive it. It was literally switching between hail and rain yesterday, and it's not even Halloween here. So I know I'm going to do that, and then I'll be hitting conventions and stuff a lot next year. So I'll be around. I'm pretty good about posting the schedule and stuff. If I had to give a fun other like good snippet for you to post of like a pitch for this, like imagine if Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, and Zatanna built a spaceship together. Like that's a lot of like what this book is. It's like a high flying crazy pilot and a magician like build a spaceship together with their engineer buddy. That's kind of like how it would put the new Space Age in terms of like known characters.
It's a good way to put it. It's a very good way to put it.
Promotion stuff for me. This Friday, we have like a little local con. So if you are in Savannah or in the South and want to drive up, I'll be tabling there at Savannah Pooler Indie Comics Expo, or SPICE for short. So that's this Friday, so pretty short notice. Then December, around the release window, we'll probably be doing some promotion around town as well. It's a lot warmer here than in Michigan. Today was 75 degrees. It was sweet. And I have a couple of cons that I'm interested in for next year. I will almost definitely be at Heroes Con in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, in June. And there's a couple others that I have on my plate to investigate.
All right. Might have to have you come to Jersey.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Pushing Jersey.
I had to sell Space Age at the final clip. It's a psychedelic heart wrencher, kind of some trippy space stuff and an emotional core.
All right, yeah,
I like that.
I think that's a good way to put it. Good way to put it. So that's all for tonight, guys. With Panelloids, comic books, and more. Thanks for Kenny Porter, Kenny Porter, and Mike Becker for joining us to talk about their Mad Cave series, the new Space Age. Join us next week when we interview Sam Humphries for a preview of New Avengers number 6. And that's it. That's the show, guys. We have t-shirts. So stick around. You'll see the QR code, and you can get yourself a t-shirt, and then join our Discord. And then
I
don't know what else to yell. I just yell all those things.
On the calf.
Just loud
Calf
noise.
on the calf.
Just
The
yell.
calf on the calf. That's where he was going with it the whole
That's where it's
time,
going.
and we
I
kind
didn't
of
go lower.
shushed him.
I meant
Oh.
lower than
The
the
cow.
thigh.
All right, I'm
And
gonna
then
end
the
this now.
thigh
Thank you both.
lower.
Thank you both.